من سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما أما بعد فإن أصدق الحديث كلام الله وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. Okay, my dear brothers, inshallah this is the first class, the class that we have arranged in cooperation with the brothers at Markaz Al-Athari in Bangalore. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless them for their efforts and all those who are involved in arranging and organizing this lesson and lessons of this likes, particularly Brother Muzammil, as he has been instrumental in getting this class organized. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us the tawfiq to be able to be consistent in this class and to start and complete, inshallah, and to have ikhlas, to have sincerity in all that we do and all that we say, and learning Islamic knowledge, learning it for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala holds great virtue, something which I'm sure is not hidden from any of you. And joining this type of a class with the correct intention is a means of entering paradise. As the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam said in the authentic hadith, "Man salaka tariqan yaltamisu fihi ilman, salaka Allahu bihi tariqan ila al-jannah." Whoever takes a path seeking knowledge by it, or seeking knowledge on that path, and Allah will make easy for him the path to paradise. And without doubt, the reason for that is that when a person seeks knowledge and he enlightens himself and increases himself in insight and in knowledge of that which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran and that which the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, as reached us in his authentic sunnah, then a person gets closer to Allah and he knows what is expected of him and he understands why he needs to be worshipping Allah and how to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He increases himself in knowledge and he increases himself thereafter in sincerity. And then that knowledge, that sincerity, that acting upon that knowledge, all of these are means for a person to enter paradise. So seeking knowledge, my brothers, is not the end. Indeed, it is a means to the end. The end is to act upon the knowledge, to seek the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and to enter paradise by the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So it's very important that we get this right, get this correct from the beginning. We're seeking knowledge, not in order to try to battle others with what we have learnt, or to amass knowledge in order to be able to count it, or to show others how much we have learnt or how many lessons that we have attended. But rather, a person seeks knowledge, trying to come close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with that knowledge. Okay. As for the different brothers who are having issues with the internet and different stuff, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make things easy for you, and hopefully, inshallah, if you don't manage to listen now fully, then possibly you can get it from the recording after. I apologize about the echo and the sound. Hopefully it's not for everybody, but you could possibly just check your speaker systems. Unless others are having the same problem, then I have to make some adjustments on my side. Okay, so not everyone's having the echo. So if somebody's having an echo, then it's quite possible that it's on their computer. Okay, brothers, so we are starting this evening the explanation of Aajrummiyyah, which is a well-known book dealing with the issue of Arabic language. And this text, which is recommended as a starting point in getting an understanding of the Arabic language, was explained by more than one scholar, and in particular we have with us the explanation of Shaykh Muhammad ibn Salih al-Uthaymeen rahimahullah, and he is well known for clarifying texts and making things and simplifying texts, making them quite easy to understand. So inshallah ta'ala, going through the Shaykh's explanation will be useful and beneficial to all of us, and we'll be able to understand better what the author was intending when he penned down his words that have reached us. Okay, so I don't know whether the brothers are expecting to be able to become like well versed in the Arabic language after this, or start being able to speak Arabic. But indeed, what this will do, inshallah, is to give you a good overview of what the Arabic language is about, how it is structured, and its various components, and how to recognize things, recognize aspects of the language, recognize words. Is it a noun? Is it a verb? Okay, what's the benefit of a particular word, or what's the status of a particular word in the Arabic language? And we are going to face some challenges in this lesson, and that is that, Arabic, Allah knows best. I don't think Arabic language, or any language for that matter, is designed to be taught in another language. The best way to learn a language is to immerse yourself in that language. So, for example, you're living in an environment or living in a society where everyone is speaking the language, and then having learned the language of the people, meaning you can converse and understand what people are saying, then you can understand this type of a text would complement what you already know of the language, and it will give you a good understanding of what you have. Now, if you don't have knowledge of the Arabic language, you can't speak it, you can't necessarily understand it. We have the challenge of, understanding in the English language. Still, the fact that we're making an effort, we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept that effort from us and to cause us to benefit. Who knows, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm misunderstood, and it's quite possible to learn the language via or through another language. This is basically going to be almost like a translation class. So we're translating the Shaykh's words and his explanation, as well as translating Aajrummiyyah itself, the actual text. I think it's going to be quite interesting because we have different terminology which is probably not present in the English language, or if it is present, it's quite technical, and if it's technical language, then saying it in English may not be something which we're used to hearing, or what we may understand. So therefore, like me, for example, there could be words here, if I was to put them in English, the English word itself wouldn't make any sense to me necessarily, though I speak English. And some of you may understand that terminology, some of you may not. If I was to say verb, noun, declarative, all these different types of grammatical terms, some may and some may not understand it. I know, for one, when I began to learn the Arabic language, these types of terminology, even the simple things like verb, adverb, adjective, were not clear to me. And then what to say of things like accusative and declarative and these types of terms, they were definitely something which I was not ready to comprehend. It's like learning the language on top of a language, new terminology. and trying to learn Arabic and then having to learn English again to learn the Arabic. So, like I said, I'm mentioning these things because I imagine these things are going to be some of the challenges. I'm hoping that Allah Ta'ala gives me the tawfiq to be able to simplify concepts, not necessarily using the correct official technical term to explain it, but rather using a number of words and, beating around the bush in order to get like a draw a picture in your minds of what is actually trying to be said here. Hopefully that will aid us, inshallah, in understanding the text. Are you with me, brothers? If you with me, give me a thumbs up or give me a number 1 or give me something. Okay, on my side, it's going to be me. It's going to be me giving the class, and my son Abdullah is also going to be attending on my side, inshallah. So I could be asking questions and getting answers from him or from you guys. And when you need the mic, I'll give you the mic. I was suggesting that we may open all the mics at one stage, and or even throughout the whole class if it doesn't cause any disturbance. If you guys prefer it, I don't know. And then you could interject with a question at any particular time. That might be one way of looking at things, one option. Someone pass me the Mus'haf, please. I think it might be, give me the actual Arabic, the actual Mus'haf, not the translation. Brothers, I think it might be interesting if we were to have a copy of the Mus'haf with us, just in case at one stage, whether it's this class or another class, I open the Quran and I say, okay, let's look at this particular ayah and try to notice some of the rules that are being described in the text in the Quran. I think that might be interesting, inshallah, beneficial. All right, so I think it's possible. Okay. Brother Abdul Waris, my message said that you raised the hand. Do you want the mic or something? To say something, or was that were you trying to say? Were you acknowledging what I said earlier? Okay. All right. So we just go through your names so I know who's with me today in the class. We've got Muzammil, of course he's there, and Sajid, and then I have Brother Muhammad Muhsin, Abdullah, Shabir Hussain, Nihal, Abu Abdullah 1, Abu Anas, Ismail is with us. We also have Abu Sumayya, Suhail. We have Aajrummiyyah class 1. Who's that? Is that me? Remember, who's Aajrummiyyah class 1? Okay, Sabir Ibn Sultan is with us, Farman is with us, and we have Test from Mobile. Who's Test from Mobile? Declare your name, my brother. And we have Abdul Waris. Okay, that's what, Muzammil, are you Test from Mobile or are you Aajrummiyyah class 1? Muzammil is coming with multiple accounts. So you're in with 3 accounts, Muzammil, yeah? Okay, 2, alright. Aajrummiyyah class 1, what's your name, brother? Alright, time's ticking. I know it's getting late for you guys, so we could banter like this for a long time, and talk about small talk. But we need to also get on with the class, inshallah. But I mean, it's already been like 25 minutes into the class, and we only have 30 minutes left on the schedule. hopefully it won't get too late for you brothers, and I won't be disturbing you by my lack of availability before this time. Okay, so we did start by introducing the class and what type of a class it was. So what we'll do, we'll go straight to the text. Now, the idea I had was that we would be able to play Shaykh Uthaymeen's voice to the text, because this is a transcript of the Shaykh's explanation of Aajrummiyyah. So, in that case, what we're going to do is play. We're going to test it out for today and see how time consuming it actually is. We're going to play portions of the Shaykh's voice, inshallah, and then see how much we can get through. Okay, so hopefully you can hear this.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أمرا مهما جدا، واللام وحروف القسم وهي الواو والباء.
So you just want to find the right place.
يسر تسجيلات التقوى الإسلامية بالرياض أن تقدم لطلبة العلم المقدمة الآجرمية لمؤلفها أبي عبد الله محمد بن داود السنهاجي المعروف بابن آجرم، والتي قام بشرحها فضيلة الشيخ محمد بن صالح العثيمين. نسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى أن ينفع بها وأن يجزي المؤلف والشارح خير الجزاء. والآن مع الشريط الأول للأنشطة الآجرمية البالغة عددها 25 شريطا.
Okay, so as the
وأقسام ثلاثة اسم وفعل وحرف.
let me pause that. So as the recording goes through, then inshallah ta'ala I'm going to point the arrow to where the Shaykh is and what is actually being read to the Shaykh. Just bear with me, brothers.
نسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى أن ينفع بها وأن يجزي المؤلف والشيخ. وأقسامه ثلاثة اسم وفعل وحرف جاء بمعنى، فالاسم يعرف بالخفض والتنوين ودخول الألف واللام وحروف الخفض وهي من وإلى وعن وعلى وفي ورب والباء والكاف واللام، وحروف القسم وهي الواو والباء والتاء. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين.
Okay, so I appreciate that the Shaykh's voice is not very clear, or rather the recording is not very clear as it comes onto the internet. But the reader was reading this portion of the text where I'm pointing to right now. Al-kalamu wa aqsamuhu. Al-kalam, what we might loosely translate. We're going to loosely translate kalam as speech, okay? And its different types. The actual text says al-kalam is, speech is, and then he explains that speech is, and look at these words I'm pointing to. Al-lafdu, al-murakkabu, al-mufidu, bil-wada'i. 1, 2, 3, 4 words. Okay? This 4-word explanation of is the meaning of the word kalam. Okay? And then he said, and the Shaykh's going to explain those words, what they actually mean. So that's why I'm going to leave them untranslated. And then he said, وَأَقْسَامُهُ ثَلَاثَةً, and the types of speech are 3 types. Okay? And when we say speech, again, it's a loose translation of speech, because what they're actually talking about is words. Arabic language. The Arabic language and the Arabic kalam, meaning the Arabic language and its types. Arabic language is al-lafz al-murakkab al-mufid bil-wad'. And then he said, وَأَقْسَامُهُ ثَلَاثَةً. Its types are three. Ismun wa fi'lun wa harf. These are three different things. Ism, which is like what you say in English, we call it a noun. Fi'l, we call it a verb. So the ism is the names of things: pen, pencil, table, kitab, kursi, qalam, rajul, talib, walad, masjid. All of these things are nouns. Then you have fi'l. These are the actions: jalasa, kataba, dhahaba. He sat, he moved, he ran, he wrote, he ate. And then this one, wa harf. And these are the letters or particles like and or, wa, oh. And then he says, وَحَرْفٌ جَاءَ لِمَعْنَى. The Shaykh is going to explain what this actually means. And then he goes, then the original author said, speaking about these three, ism, wa fi'l and harf, he said, ism is that which is يُعْرَفُ بِالْخَفْضِ وَالتَّنْوِينِ وَدَخُولُ الْأَلِفُ وَاللَّامِ وَحُرُوفُ الْخَفْضِ. Okay? He said that this Arabic speech is of three types. What are those three types? Ism, fi'l, and harf. Ism, fi'l, and harf. These are the three main aspects of the Arabic language. Okay? And then he begins to speak about the meaning of ism. Now we haven't touched the Shaykh's explanation right now. I'm just giving you the overview or basic translation of what is in this first portion of the text that the Shaykh is about to explain. So then he speaks about ism. And he said ism, the noun in Arabic language, is known in a number of ways. There are a number of ways to know that a word that you have in front of you is a noun. One way is by al-khafd. And al-khafd means that a word has a kasra at the end of it. A word has a kasra at the end of it. So I'm just opening my Quran very quickly, my Mus'haf over here, just to show you very quickly. For example, in Surah Al-Falaq, An-Naffathati. That word An-Naffathati, وَمِن شَرِّ النَّفَّاثَاتِ فِي الْعُقَدِ, that word has got a kasra on the end of it. So now straight away I know that this word is a noun. Also, Al-Uqad. Al-Uqad has got a kasra on the end of it. I know this is a noun. This is one way of knowing an ism, that is by al-khafd. Another way of knowing the word in the Arabic language is an ism, is that if it has tanween, two dhammas, two fathas, two kasras. Okay? So if you look, for example, in the Quran, you look at, for example, Surah Al-Ikhlas, قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ. Ahadun, that word you can see in the Quran, it's got two dhammas on it. That's tanween. So you know, linguistically speaking, that word is it a verb? Is it a fi'l? Is it a harf? Is it an ism? You know it's an ism. Why? Because the Shaykh already explained that any word that has got a tanween on it is going to be an ism. Then he says, another way of knowing an ism is dukhul al-alif wal-lam. It has alif wal-lam. It's possible that alif and lam can enter upon that word. So look at an example in the Quran. For example, again in Surah Al-Falaq, Al-Uqad, An-Naffathati. It has alif and lam on it. So now you know An-Naffathati is a noun, and you know that Al-Uqad is a noun because it has alif and lam. Okay, Brother Sabir, the issue of the text. The issue of the text being small is slightly problematic, is because if I enlarge the text, though you can see it, it begins to slide off the screen for me. And therefore I'm not going to be able to see the text And though I have the text also in another source on the web page, but the problem is okay, hold on. As I speak, the problem is solved. Yeah, I think the problem was that my page was too small. Alhamdulillah. Okay, so this is actually, yeah. The problem is slightly solved in itself here. Yes, it is. Alhamdulillah. So I think that's better, right? Right. So we were at this portion over here. فَالْإِسْمُ يُعْرَفُ بِالْخَفْضِ. An ism is known by either having a kasra at the end of it, known by having tanween. And I showed you examples for both of that in Surah Al-Ikhlas and Surah Al-Falaq. Also, the Qul Alif al-Lam, any word that has Alif al-Lam that you know is an ism. Okay? And I showed you that example in Surah Al-Falaq as well. Al-Uqad and Al-Nafatat. And then also you have وَحُرُوفْ الْخَفْض. Alright. So, meaning that Huruf al-Khafd is speaking about certain letters or particles. English we call these words. Al-Aajrummiyyah, what he did was, Ibn al-Aajrummiyyah, what he did was, after mentioning that an ism is an ism is known as an ism by either having a kasra on it, or by having tanween on it, or by having alif and lam before it, or having one of the huruf al-khafd before it. Okay, so now me and you are thinking, what does he mean by huruf al-khafd? He himself explained by saying wahiya, and they are. So now he answered our question that we were asking in our heads. What are the huruf al-khafd? Min, ila, and so min and ila and an and ala. So don't look at the word, don't look at the waw, look at the actual, the letters after it. Ila, an, ala, he, rubba, and al-ba. He wrote it as al-ba. What he means is just the letter ba. Okay? The letter ba coming before a word shows that this word is a noun, is an ism. And having, he said, wal kaf. He means the letter kaf. Okay? Get my pen over here. Okay? So, having a ba coming before a word. Now, you know that the word after it is a noun. Having the letter kaf coming before a word. You know that now that word is a noun because kaf came before it. And a lam. Having lam coming before a word. You know that the word after it is going to be a noun. And also what he said, so that's huruf al-khafd. How many can you see? 1, 2, count them please and tell me the number please guys. How many huruf al-khafd are there? Huruf al-khafd. Good try Abdullah, but you're not right. Brothers, I want you all to give me the answer to that question, please. How many huruf al-khafd are there? So we're close. Yes, Abdullah, well done. Yeah, mine, exactly. What are they? Min, ila, an, ala, fi, rubba, ba, kaf, lam. You're going to get that as bi, ki, bi, ka, and li. That's how it's going to look. So it's not 11 or 10, brothers. It's 9. Okay? The meaning of each of these, I'm sure we're going to get from the Shaykh, inshallah. Okay? So there are 9. And then Ibn al-Aajrummiyyah said, وَحُرُوفُ الْقَسَمِ وَحُرُوفُ الْقَسَمِ, and the letters which are used to swear. You know when people say, Wallahi, Billahi, Kallahi. Yeah? Waw, ba, and ta. Those three letters. Okay? Yeah, that's how you see them. So now you can see that this letter here, yeah, different color. I will get a color some. It's my freehand pen. It will have here is the color, line color. I'll do this. So now you can see that ba is harf al-qasm, and ba is also harf al-khafd. So it's just how the word is used, how this is used in meaning. Al-khafd means having a kasra on the end of it. Having a kasra on the end of the next word. Alright? So for example, if you look in the Quran and you look at Surah Al-Falaq, for example, or even Surah Al-Nas, Maliki, that's got a kasra on it. Malikin Nasi, An-Nasi, Nasi, and that's got a kasra on the end of it. Ilahin Nasi, each of those words have got kasra. You know that these words are now nouns. Mr. Rice, what is your question? What is Rubba? Okay, Rubba, the meaning of Rubba is going to appear, inshallah, in the Shaykh's explanation. Okay, so I don't want to precede the Shaykh's explanation, rather wait for the explanation of each of these words. Alright, inshallah? I hope that's okay. All you have to know is that these letters or words coming before another word is a proof, is a sign rather, that that word is an ism. Alright. Now I have briefly translated this area here. Okay, it's looking a bit messy now with all my lines, but that's what I've done. This area here, I've pretty much translated it, explained it, and now we're going to hear the Shaykh's voice in his explanation. He's touching on explaining these words now. Right? Taqi is kasra not due to harf jar. Harf jar, yes. Harful khafd is exactly the same as harful jar. Okay? It's just another way of saying it. So yeah, if, for example, the brothers that studied the Medina books, yeah, in the Medina it says harful jar, and Ibn Aajrummiyyah referred to it as harful khafd, and those two are equal. They mean exactly the same thing. Is that okay, inshallah? Brother Mr. Nice, hopefully that was okay that I said to you about Urba being explained later. Are the brothers clear? Have you got any more questions? I'm going to give you 30 seconds to post any questions that you have about the issue, about what we spoke about so far. Even if you feel it's irrelevant, ask it. If it's irrelevant or coming later, I'll ask you to wait for it. But go ahead. You've got 30 seconds starting from now to post any questions that you have. Okay, so yeah, time's up for questions. Now let's go through what Abu Abdullah said. What is harf al-khafzi? Alright, huruf al-khafd. Okay, brother, yeah, ism is recognized by harf al-khafd. Also, harf al-khafd are separate letters by themselves. Alright. Okay, brothers, no more questions, please, because your time is up for questions. Let's take the questions that came one at a time. The first one was what is harful khafd? Was Abu Abdullah. Basically, these, again, the meanings of these words are going to appear in the Shaykh's explanation. What is harful khafd? I'm pointing to it now. Min, ila, an, ala, fi, rubba, and then ba, kaf, lam. These three here. Ba, kaf, and lam. Okay? Now, what do they do? Each of them has their own meaning. But what do they actually do? When that word, when these letters, they refer to in Arabic as huruf. When these huruf, when they are followed by another word, okay, that word is, if someone says to you, what is this word over here? You know that this word is an ism, is a noun. How do you know? Because you looked at the word that was before it, and it was one of these 9. Alright? And why is it called huruf al-khafd? Because that noun, by default, it will have a kasra at the end of it. In most cases, it's going to have a kasra on the end of it. There are some exceptions to that rule, which we can deal with at the right time, inshallah. But generally speaking, the word after any of these 9 letters, min, ila, an, ala, fi, rubba, and ba, kaf, and lam, the word that comes after is going to have a kasra on the last letter of that word. Okay? And that's why they take the name huruf al-khafd. Khafd is almost like saying kasra. They don't say kasra because sometimes, as you're going to find later on, that not every word is majroor with a kasra. It doesn't have a jar or khafd with a kasra. There's a different way of showing that it has a jar or khafd. And hopefully, Abu Abdullah, I've answered that question, inshallah, and I haven't confused you more. Sahaba's question tells us about harful qasam. Basically, when you want to swear about something. Okay, Allah Ta'ala in the Quran, He is allowed to swear by whatever He... I can't find... وَاللَّيْلِ إِذَا سَجَى وَاللَّيْلِ Allah is swearing by the night. As for us, then we are not allowed to swear by other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, Man halafa bighayri Allahi faqad ashrak. Whoever swears by other than Allah has committed shirk. So we say, Wallahi. We say, War-Rahmani. Okay, we swear by Allah's names. You say, Billahi. This is in Arabic, you're swearing by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's name. It's permissible, but it shouldn't be overdone. As for Allah Ta'ala, in the Quran, in many places, He swears by the creation. And as the examples I gave you, وَاللَّيْلِ وَالشَّمْسِ وَالضُّحَاهَا وَالْقَمَرِ إِذَا تَلَاهَا. Yeah? So Allah is swearing by the moon, swearing by the sun, swearing by the night. Surah Al-Asr, وَالْعَصْرِ. Allah is swearing by time. He swears by things in order to show the importance or the emphasis of that particular thing, the greatness of that particular sign that He created. Harful qasam, it can be with a waw, which is the most common one that we hear, but it can also be with ba. It can also be with ta. Allah Ta'ala says in the Quran, Tallahi, Inna kunna fi dhalal mubin. By Allah, we were in clear error. إِذْ نُسَوِّيكُمْ بِرَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ. When we made you equals to Allah, referring to their idols. By Allah, we were in clear manifest error. Tallahi, they said. So this is the ayah in the Quran. Shows that the ta can also be used as qasam. And ba, I can't think of one in my head right now as we're talking, but then you'll find examples of the ba also being used as qasam. So qasam is to swear by something in order to show importance or in order to show the greatness of that thing. Abdul Mohsin said, can you revise that para once? I'm not sure what you're talking about. You mean the para? You mean the part? Maybe it's a typo? Can you revise this whole part once? I think it might be better for you to get the recording, Akhi Abdul Mohsin, as it took me quite some time to go over it the first time. Going over it a second time will kill the rest of the lesson. We don't have much time of the lesson left. Is that okay, Abdul Mohsin? Or you can clarify your question. Muzammil, he said, Ism is recognized by huruf al-khafd. Yes, it is. Also, huruf al-khafd are separate letters by themselves. They are separate letters, Muzammil, but you're not going to find a letter hanging around alone in any text. You're not going to find a letter just sitting there, min. It's always going to have something after it. Okay? So, yeah, these letters, they're not loners. Right? They're always seeking companionship. They need someone with it, something with it. And that something is always going to be an ism. Alright? Hopefully I explained it in a way that's understandable, inshallah. Sabr said Harf al-Qasam. Somebody said Barakallahu Feek. Jazakumullah khair. Let's go for the questions anymore. Okay. I think the questions are done. Alhamdulillah. Sajid, I'm not sure what you mean by Bismillahi. I know what it means. Okay. Abdul Mohsin, this part. Okay, yeah. So yeah, if you don't mind, Abdul Mohsin, I'll suggest that you go for the recording until you understand it, inshallah, rather than going over it again might be cumbersome for the others, and also there's not enough time remaining in the class to do so. Example of huruf al-khafd, ba, and huruf al-qasam, ba. Alright, huruf al-qasam, ba, huruf al-khafd, ba, for example. Again, I think the Shaykh's going to be explaining all this stuff, so I'll just try to make it clear what these words and what these letters are. So, brothers, if you don't mind, we'll skip that example, inshallah. Hopefully the Shaykh will give us the examples, and that will make everything easy for us. Alright. Let's go for the Shaykh's words now. Conscious about, brothers in India. Is there anyone that has an issue? Brothers, when I ask you a question, and I'm asking you to type something, please do it as quickly as possible so we can get all the answers at once, to save time. Is there an issue, the fact that it's past midnight? Is it very late, too late for you guys? And would you prefer that we stop, or are you okay to continue? We need all of you to say yes. Any one of you says no, then we're going to stop the class. No pressure, of course. We are okay. Abu Abdullah, how many of you are there? You have to speak for yourself. Definitely I. Tomorrow's Sunday. Okay. How are you guys changing your names halfway through, or are they new attendees? Okay, I can extend that. That's nice. Extend that for minutes. Continue 20 minutes. Yes, it's okay. Today Sunday, lol. Okay, good. Alhamdulillah. Muzammil, is your conscience clear? He's worried for his brothers. One issue for me. Okay. Muzammil, if you don't mind going through the list, make sure no one's missing. No one. Maybe someone's already slept and left his name on the list, so we don't know his answer. He's hoping to get the answer, get some benefits as he wakes up in between. Okay. There we go. Now we're going to listen to Shaykh Uthaymeen's words. His explanation of this.
واللام وحروف القسم وهي الواو والباء والتاء. الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. أما بعد، فإن علم النحو علم شريف، علم وسيلة يتوصل بها إلى شيئين هامين. الشيء الأول فهم كتاب الله وسنة رسوله صلى الله عليه وسلم، فإن كثيرا من كلامنا أو فإن فهم كثير منهما يتوقف على معرفة النحو. والثاني إقامة اللسان على اللسان العربي الذي هو كلام الله عز وجل، أو الذي جاء نزل به كلام الله عز وجل. لذلك كان فهم النحو أمرا مهما جدا، ولكن النحو في أول صعب وفي آخر سهل. وقد مثل ببيت انخفض وبابه من حديث، يعني أنه صعب دخول، لكن إذا دخلت سهل عليك كل شيء. ولهذا ينبغي الإنسان أن يحرص على تعلم المبادئ حتى يصل عليه الباب. ولا عبرة بقول من قال إن النحو صعب حتى يتخيل الطالب أنه لن يتمكن منه، فإن هذا ليس بالحق. ولكن ركز على أوله يسبق عليك آخره. في واحد يقول النحو صعب وطويل كله، إذا ارتقى فيه الذي لا يفهم أراد أن يعرفه فيعجب، وهذا ليس بالحق. نحن لا نوافق على هذا، فنقول إن شاء الله النحو سهل وسلمه قصير ودرجه سهل.
Okay, brothers. So I apologize for the beginning part of that. I had lost the text at the bottom of the page. I wasn't able to access it. Just realized that I can't access it from here. So we're just going over what the Shaykh said. Shaykh, I've just played to you a part of the Shaykh's explanation. The Shaykh says, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, Wassalatu wassalamu ala nabiyyina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in, amma ba'd. He said, the knowledge of An-Nahu, this science, or this knowledge of An-Nahu, which is Arabic language, is a noble knowledge. It's a noble area of knowledge, ilmun sharif. And he said, ilmu wasila, it is a knowledge which is used as a means. Okay, it's a means. And he said, yutawassalu biha ila shay'ain, it's a means that gets you to attain two things. Muhimmain, two important things. So ilmun nahu is a type of knowledge that will aid you in getting to two things. What are those two things? Two very important things. Firstly, fahmu kitabillahi wa sunnati rasulihi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, understanding the book of Allah and the sunnah of the messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. فَإِنَّ فَهْمَهُمَا يَتَوَقَّفُ عَلَى مَعْرِفَةِ النَّحْوِ, because understanding these two things, book of Allah, sunnah of the messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, relies upon and stops at knowing Arabic language, knowing An-Nahu, knowing this grammar. Okay? Secondly, the second thing that this noble knowledge is used as a means towards iqamatul lisan, is making your tongue upright, ala lisan al-Arabi, upon the way the Arab tongue is supposed to be. الذي نزل به كلام الله عز وجل, meaning the Arabic tongue that the Quran was sent down in. The same language that the Arabs spoke was that which Allah Azza wa Jal sent down the Quran in, the words of Allah in. So therefore he says, وَلِذَلِكَ كَانَ فَهْمُ النَّحُ أَمْرًا مُهِمًّا جِدًّا. For that reason, understanding An-Nahu became a very, very important thing. And he says, وَلَكِنْ النَّحُ فِي أَوْلِهِ صَعْبٌ وَفِي آخِرِهِ سَهْلٌ. He said, but Nahu at the beginning is somewhat difficult, yet at the end it is very easy. And some people have said that Arabic language is like a house which is made out of qasab. Qasab is like vegetation. Let me try to see if we can get the correct word for you. tall grass might be. Let me just get this word. Just bear with me, my brothers. Yeah, like, you have those fields of tall grass or stalks and cane, like you have sugar cane and reed. Okay? So they said that Nahu is like a house made of this tall grass, but the door is made of steel. The door is made of steel. So, meaning that getting into it is very difficult. يعني أنه صعب الدخول. Difficult to get in, but once you're in, everything becomes easy for you. سهل عليك كل شيء. Then the Shaykh says, ولهذا ينبغي للإنسان أن يحرص على تعلم مبادئه حتى يسهل عليه الباقي. Therefore, a person should strive to learn its basics, so that the rest of it becomes easy for you. Well, then he said, and there is no truth in those people that said, in the nahu sa'b, in order to make it difficult in the mind of the student, that this is an impossible task, he's not ever going to be able to learn this language. Shaykh said, this is not true. But pay attention at the beginning, the rest will become easy. The Shaykh says, to the degree that some people said, and then you mention these lines of poetry, النحو صعب وطويل. I can't read it properly, it's too small. النحو صعب وطويل سلمه إذا ارتقى فيه الذي لا يفهمه أراد أن يعربه ويعجمه. So this claimant, the Shaykh says this is not true, but some people said Nahu is difficult and its ladder is very long. A person who climbs that ladder doesn't understand anything. He wanted to be able to understand it and become more versed in the Arabic language, but he became illiterate as a result of learning it. And the Shaykh says, هذا ليس بصحيح. We do not agree with this statement at all. Rather we say, Insha'Allah. Rather we say, Insha'Allah, النحو سهل وسلمه قصير. Nahu is easy, its ladder is short. وَدَرَجُهُ سَهْلَةٌ, and its steps are easy. تَفْحَمُهُ مِنْ أَوَّلِهِ, you will be able to understand it from its very beginning. Okay, my brothers, we're going to stop there, inshallah, because of the time, and continue from the Shaykh's explanation of what the author had originally started by saying, which was the definition of al-kalam. The same translation that I gave you. I gave the translation, though I knew we wouldn't possibly be going into the Shaykh's explanation. I gave the translation of it was because it appeared in the reading of that particular recording that we listened to. So we translated it once, then we went through the Shaykh's introduction to the das, and the next lesson we'll go straight into the Shaykh's explanation of this portion, inshallah, of the text. In the meantime, I'll ask you brothers to go over the recording which Brother Muzammil will make available for you, inshallah. Go over the recording and listen to it a few times. Try to understand whatever you can, grasp as much as you can. Inshallah, that way you'll be ready for the next class, which I hope is going to be on Wednesday, inshallah. But we'll get the confirmation from your brother Muzammil in the meantime, inshallah. Wallahu a'lam. Wa sallallahu ala nabiyyina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Okay, Muzammil, you have the mic, inshallah, in case you want to make any announcements. I know that you may not have the moderator status on your account, that's why I've given it to you.
Okay, I think that was excellent, Akh Nadeem. Mashallah, the voice was clear. Sheikh's voice was clear. The examples from Quran was excellent, and the fact that brothers could ask questions and get answers straight away was excellent. I think the only comment I had was obviously, in India it is now 12 or 12:30, I think. That's probably the only thing. But yes, inshallah, let's in the next couple of days we can try and plan something better. Yes. 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 Inshallah. So we will announce.